Good morning, everybody. Um, this is really going to be tough. First of all, I'm not very technically sophisticated. I'm not a great uh, movie star or performer, and so I'm going to try to say something about how to do a life chart. It's going to come in several parts because I don't know how to stop the video and then continue it. So I'm going to have to do it in several pieces. The reason I thought about doing this was because we were doing the nostalgia. And when we did that, we were talking about the small circle of things that from today to a few days ago to a few days in the future. And a life chart lets you see your whole life at once. It also puts events in your life, key events in your life, in perspective. I'll talk about one for my life and how it did that for me. It helps you understand your motivations in a way that's very helpful, and helps you understand what has shaped your life. And lastly, and I think very important, it helps move us and move people from a pathological model to what I call a developmental one. So, what I'm going to do today is I'm going to describe a life chart. I'm going to show you how to set one up. And then I'm going to actually show you a piece of my life and how where I've done a piece. And then I'll go back again and I'll explain how to do it again. So I hope by the end of it, you'll have everything. If you're confused after all that, then email or call me. You have my email. My phone number is 805 450 4345. You can do either. Tell me where you're confused, and I'll try to help you do it. I'm not going to include in this the part of the thing of how to interpret it. When you finally completed your life chart, email me and I'll send you the second part as soon as I've done it. Okay. So this is a life chart. As you can see on the left-hand side, I've got a zero line. Uh, it goes up to plus 10 and minus 10. Plus 10 is very much, minus 10 is very little. And we're going to chart three dimensions over the course of your life. So for me, I put the years of my life down here. I've done decades. I could make it more refined, but this is just for the purposes of demonstration. Then what happens is you're going to chart out three dimensions over your life. And I'll explain this, I'll show it to you, and then I'll explain it again. So just listen. The first one is achievement. Whatever felt like an up or down in achievement in your life, from plus 10 to minus 10. High achievement would be, of course, plus 10. The high feeling of achievement would be plus 10. A low feeling, a very low feeling would be minus 10. So you're going to chart out how it felt to you. Now, what is achievement? Achievement is whatever it felt like to you. Not what other people would say, but whatever it felt like to you. The second line in green, the first one's in black, the second line will be in green, is relationships, the ups and downs of relationships in your life, from very high to very low. And again, I'll show you this on mine, but uh, the third one is global life satisfaction, and that should be in red. And when you felt very much, it would be very high, and when you felt very little, it would be very low. So you're going to chart out over the course of your life. The way to do it is to pick either critical points in your life and plot them and then connect them together, or you can just kind of work your way along year by year, however it's best for you. So you're going to plot out three dimensions: achievement, relationship, and global satisfaction over the course of your life. Now, two things I want to suggest. I want to suggest that we keep these colors because it's easier if you ever want to show it to somebody else who's done it for them to understand. But having said that, you're not required, nor should you believe when you're doing this, that you have to show this to anybody at any time. This is entirely for you, and what you do in the course of this is entirely up to you, whether you want to share it or any insights you got from it. Now, here is a piece from my life chart. You can see I've done on the axis plus 10 to minus 10. I have over here, these are the keys: black for achievement, green for relationships, red for satisfaction. So I lived back in Silver Spring, Maryland till the age of 9. We lived on a street where everybody, I mean, you could get both sides of a baseball team just by walking out your front door. My father at that time had a low stress job. He was a professor and a clinician as a neurologist and psychiatrist in Washington, D.C. It was after World War II. And life was pretty sweet. And I felt I did well in school. My family was good, the neighborhood, lots of kids, and I had a lot of satisfaction. At age 9, we moved to California. We moved to a fairly wealthy suburb of California. Houses were far apart. There were very few kids. The kids that were there were kind of the movie star culture type. And I was nowhere near that. I was one of the people in school who would say yes, sir, and yes, ma'am to my teachers. By the time so things kept going worse and worse and more alienated. Also, I kept skipping grades. So I was in high school. I graduated high school when I was 16. So I was always very, very young. I was very, very short in terms of physical height, and hadn't matured yet. So I didn't have the athletic ability. So my relationships went way, way down. As I've often said, I'd rather be tortured than sent back to high school. Then I went away to college at 16, and things just flowered for me. I'd grown, I was able to do sports. I had lots of people I was around in the dorms and then subsequently places I lived. Now, through all this, my achievements were fine, but my satisfaction rose with the change in my whole circumstance. So what you're going to do is you're going to make a chart from 0 to plus 10, 0 to minus 10, put the years of your life on the bottom, and chart the ups and downs of your life in achievement, relationship, and global satisfaction. What achievement is whatever felt like an achievement to you, and up or down. What relationships are is whatever felt like relationships to you, not what other people would say. And global satisfaction is what you felt, not what other people would tell you you should feel. Some people occasionally just get so upset that they want to separate relationships into primary relationships, that is their marriage, and the rest of the relationships. If that's the case, you can use a dotted line in green for one of the two and then make a solid line for the other. But don't feel obligated to do that. So I hope this has explained to you how to do a life chart. I guarantee you it's a valuable exercise. It lets you see your whole life at once, puts events in perspective, helps you understand your motivations, helps you understand what shaped your life, and helps you move from a pathological model to a developmental one. I'll prepare a second video on how to understand what's on your life chart. When you've completed it, if you'll send me an email, and if I've completed it by then, which I hope I will, then I'll send the interpretation back to you. Take care and good luck.